came to Seoul to destroy him, to burn down the empire that took my brother, the same shadows that still whisper his name in my dreams. Jamal should be 32 now, laughing, teasing me about bad choices, alive. Instead, I shook hands with the man who might as well carry the gun that killed him. Kang Tae-Hyun. His eyes saw right through my lies. His touch lingered like a promise I can't afford. He calls me mine without saying the word. And God help me, part of me wants to believe it. But if I fall, I lose everything. My mission, my revenge, and maybe the only man who could make me forget why I started this war. This is the story of how an undercover journalist fell for the Mafia lieutenant she swore to ruin, and how love became the most dangerous weapon of all. Aisha Thompson stepped into the glass boardroom of Kim Global Imports, heart hammering, hidden mic pressing against her skin like a guilty secret. 1 month to gather evidence. 1 month to expose the syndicate that stole her brother's life. Then Kang Tae-Hyun walked in, and everything shifted. He was danger wrapped in tailored charcoal, eyes dark and dissecting. "Miss Thompson," he said, voice low velvet over steel. "You're early. I like that." Their hands met, electric, forbidden. A spark she had no right to feel. In that instant, Jamal's ghost flashed, 32 now, if he'd lived. Beard, maybe? Still that crooked grin, whispering, "Don't fall for the bad one, sis." But Tae-Hyun's grip lingered a second too long, thumb brushing her knuckle like he already owned the moment. She pulled back, forcing steel into her smile. "Let's talk business, Mr. Kang." He tilted his head, suspicion flickering behind the charm. "Bold. I protect what's mine. Loyalty isn't optional." The word mine landed like a claim. Her pulse betrayed her. "Sit," he said, gesturing to the chair opposite his. "Tell me why a New York cultural consultant wants to modernize our image with African diaspora partnerships." She sat, crossing her legs. "Because your brand is stagnant. Luxury imports need fresh narratives. Diversity sells. I bring authenticity, connections, and results." He leaned back, fingers steepled. "Authenticity." He repeated the word like he was tasting it. Bold claim for someone whose resume has convenient gaps. Her pulse spiked. "Gaps or privacy? I don't list every freelance gig." "Fair," he smiled, small, dangerous. "But I protect what's mine. Loyalty is non-negotiable." As she stood to leave, their hands brushed again during the handshake. Deliberate this time? Heat raced up her arm. She pulled back too quickly. In the elevator down, alone, the memory crashed harder. Jamal at 19, laughing in their Atlanta kitchen, braids swinging as he teased her. "Big sis gonna save the world, huh? Just don't fall for the bad boys while you're out there." The hug he gave her before that party. The one he never came home from. Aisha pressed her palm to the elevator wall, steadying herself. The spark with Tae-Hyun wasn't part of the plan. It couldn't be. But as the doors opened to the lobby, she whispered to the ghost of her brother, "I won't lose another one. I swear." She stepped out into Seoul's rain-slick streets, heart already fracturing between duty and something far more dangerous. The luxury club pulsed like a living thing. Low amber lights, velvet booths, the low thrum of bass under K-pop remixes layered with Afro beats. Aisha moved through it like she belonged, clipboard in hand, noting display cases for the new African art collaboration she was supposedly pitching. Every smile she gave a staff member felt like another layer of the lie settling heavier on her chest. She was good at this. Too good. Tae-Hyun watched her from the upper VIP balcony, arms crossed, expression unreadable. He'd assigned her an office on the 3rd floor, close enough to monitor, far enough to pretend trust. But trust was never part of the equation. At 11:47 p.m., the first crack appeared. A low-level enforcer from a rival crew, tattooed neck, cheap suit, slipped past security and cornered one of the bartenders in the back hallway. Aisha, walking the perimeter with her phone recording audio discreetly, heard the hissed threat. "Tell your boss the next shipment better come with extra insurance, or we start collecting from the pretty new consultant." Her blood turned cold. Before she could back away, a shadow detached from the wall. Tae-Hyun, silent, lethal. He didn't raise his voice. He simply stepped between them, hand on the enforcer's shoulder, light, almost friendly, until the man's knees buckled. "Wrong night," Tae-Hyun murmured. "Wrong woman to threaten." The enforcer vanished into the night with a broken nose and a promise of worse. Tae-Hyun turned to Aisha. His eyes were storm dark. "You heard?" She nodded, throat tight. "I can handle myself." "No." He stepped closer, crowding her against the hallway wall without touching her. "You're under my protection now, whether you like it or not." The words landed possessive, protective, dangerous. She should have pushed back. Instead, her breath caught. "And if I don't want your protection?" His gaze dropped to her lips for one heartbeat. Too late. He guided her out a side exit to the underground garage. Black Maybach waiting, engine already running. No driver, just him. Inside the car, the city lights streaked past in wet blurs. Silence stretched, thick and electric. Aisha stared at her hands. "You didn't have to do that." "I did." His voice was quieter now, almost rough. "No one touches what's in my orbit." She turned to him. "I'm not yours, Tae-Hyun." He glanced at her, long, deliberate. "Yet you're here. In my car, in my world." The air between them crackled. She could smell his cologne, sandalwood, smoke, something darker. Her fingers hitched to reach across the console, just to see if the spark from earlier was real. Instead, Jamal's voice cut through the haze. She saw him again, clear as yesterday. Leaning against the kitchen counter in Atlanta, arms crossed like Tae-Hyun just now, smirking. "Sis, you always pick the ones who look like trouble. Promise me, if he's got blood on his hands, you run. Don't wait for the funeral flowers." Aisha closed her eyes against the memory. Jamal's laugh. The way he'd ruffle her hair. The casket that was too small for all the dreams he carried. She opened her eyes to find Tae-Hyun watching her. Not suspicious this time, concerned. "You okay?" he asked softly. No, she wasn't. Because the man who just saved her from a threat was the same kind of man who'd taken Jamal. And yet, God help her, she didn't want to run. "I'm fine," she lied. He reached over, hesitated, then gently tucked a stray braid behind her ear. His fingers lingered at her temple. The touch was feather-light, devastating. "Don't lie to me, Aisha," he said, voice barely above a whisper. "Not tonight." She swallowed hard. "Then don't make me want things I can't have." The car slowed at a red light. Their eyes locked. For one suspended second, neither moved. Then the light changed. He pulled away first, jaw tight, hands gripping the wheel like it was the only thing keeping him grounded. Aisha turned to the window, heart pounding so loud she was sure he could hear it. She whispered to the ghost beside her, so quiet even she barely heard, "I'm trying, Jamal. I swear I'm trying not to fall." But the lie tasted like rain and longing. The grand ballroom of the chairman's private estate glittered under crystal chandeliers, every guest draped in custom hanbok, silk whispering against silk, colours rich as old blood. Aisha felt like an intruder in emerald green silk, embroidered with gold cranes, the fabric clinging in ways that made her hyper-aware of every breath. Tae-Hyun had chosen it himself. "It suits you," he'd said that afternoon, voice low in the dressing room doorway. "Makes you look untouchable." Now, standing beside him at the edge of the crowd, she felt anything but. He wore deep navy hanbok, the jacket tailored sharp across his shoulders, a subtle silver dragon embroidered on the sleeve. A quiet claim to power. Heads turned as they entered together. Whispers followed. She caught fragments. The new consultant, too close to the lieutenant, outsider. Tae-Hyun's hand rested lightly at the small of her back, guiding, protective, possessive. The touch burned through the silk. "Stay near me tonight," he murmured, breath warm against her ear. "Some here don't like surprises." She nodded, scanning faces. Chairman Kim sat at the head table like a carved statue, eyes sharp, smile thin. His gaze flicked to them once, lingered. Dinner passed in a haze of toasts and polite laughter. Then the questions came. One of Tae-Hyun's lieutenants, older, scarred jaw, eyes like flint, leaned across the table during dessert. "Miss Thompson, your background check came back. Interesting. No family listed. No ties to Seoul. Convenient for someone embedding so quickly." Aisha's fork stilled. The room noise dimmed in her ears. Tae-Hyun's hand tightened on her knee under the table, silent warning, silent support. She met the lieutenant's stare. "I'm here for business, not genealogy. If you need references, I have them." The man smirked. "References can be bought. Loyalty cannot." Before she could answer, Tae-Hyun spoke, voice calm ice. "She's under my direct supervision. Question her again, you question me." The table went silent. The lieutenant backed down with a curt nod. Later, on the moonlit balcony overlooking the estate gardens, Aisha gripped the railing until her knuckles ached. The night air was cool, jasmine heavy. Tae-Hyun stepped out behind her, closing the glass door. "You handled that well." "I almost didn't." Her voice cracked. "One wrong word and—" He moved closer, stopping just behind her. "I wouldn't let that happen." She turned, their faces inches apart. Moonlight carved shadows across his features, sharp jaw, dark eyes softer now, unguarded. "You keep saying that," she whispered. "Protecting me, claiming me, but you don't know what you're protecting." His hand lifted, slow, deliberate, brushing a loose strand from her cheek. His thumb traced the line of her jaw. "Then tell me." She wanted to. God, she wanted to spill everything. Jamal, the mission, the guilt eating her alive. Instead, the memory slammed in. Jamal's funeral, rain pounding the tent, her mother sobbing quietly. Aisha standing alone by the casket, staring at the boy who'd once carried her on his shoulders, who'd promised he'd always come home. She'd whispered then too, "I'll make it right, I swear." Now here she was, inches from a man whose world had killed her brother, and all she could think was how badly she wanted to lean into his touch. Tae-Hyun's gaze dropped to her lips. Aisha. The almost kiss hung between them, breath mingling, hearts racing in sync. She stepped back first, trembling. We can't. Why? His voice was raw. Tell me why. Because if I kiss you, I'll never be able to destroy you. Because I see Jamal in every shadow, and I'm terrified you'll end up the same. Instead, she said, because I'm not who you think I am. He searched her face, something breaking behind his eyes. Then who are you? She turned away, tears stinging. Someone who can't afford to fall. He didn't push, just stood there, hands fisted at his sides, watching her like she was the only real thing in his world. Inside, the music swelled again. Outside, the silence between them felt like the loudest confession of all. The city blackout hit without warning. 1 second, Seoul's skyline blazed through the penthouse windows. The next, everything plunged into velvet dark. Streetlights died. Neon signs flickered out. The only sound was the sudden hush of the building systems winding down, followed by the soft click of emergency locks sealing the floor. Aisha froze in the living room, phone flashlight cutting a thin beam across marble floors. Tae-Hyun appeared from the hallway, carrying 2 candles and a bottle of soju he must have grabbed from the bar. No panic in his posture, just calm, like darkness was an old friend. Power grid failure, he said, setting the candles on the low table between the sectional and the floor-to-ceiling glass. Happens sometimes. Could be hours. She lowered her phone. We're stuck here? He lit the wicks. Warm gold bloomed across his face, softening the sharp edges. You're stuck with me. I'm not complaining. She exhaled a shaky laugh despite herself. The candlelight made everything intimate, too intimate. No escape routes, no distractions. Just the 2 of them and the city holding its breath outside. They sat on opposite ends of the sectional at first, a careful distance. Then he poured 2 small glasses of soju, slid one toward her. To surviving the dark, he said. She took it, fingers brushing his again. That spark, always there, always dangerous. They clinked glasses silently. The first sip burned clean. The second loosened the knot in her chest. He leaned back, staring at the blacked-out city. You've been quiet since the gala. You noticed. I notice everything about you. Her heart stuttered. She stared into her glass. That's a problem. Why? Because every time you look at me like that, I see Jamal warning me to run. She set the glass down. Tell me something real first. Why do you stay in this life? You're smart. You could have walked away years ago. He was quiet so long she thought he wouldn't answer. Then, my parents were killed when I was 12. Rival crew. Chairman Kim, my uncle, took me in. Raised me, gave me purpose, loyalty, a family when I had none. His voice dropped. I owe him everything. Walking away would mean betraying the only person who ever protected me. Aisha's throat tightened. She knew that kind of debt, the kind carved into bone. I lost someone too, she whispered. My brother. Gangs. Crossfire. He was 19, should be 32 now. Probably with a stupid beard and that same crooked smile, still calling me boss lady every time I tried to fix the world. Tae-Hyun turned fully toward her. Candlelight caught the surprise in his eyes. Then something softer, understanding. I'm sorry. Don't be. Tears pricked hot. Just don't make me lose another one. The words slipped out before she could stop them. He moved then, slow, deliberate, closing the space until their knees touched. He reached out, cupping her face with both hands, thumbs brushing away the tears she hadn't realized were falling. "Aisha," he breathed, "I'm not him. I'm not leaving you." She shook her head, voice breaking. "You don't understand. This world, it takes. It always takes." "Then let me give you something instead." He leaned in. Their foreheads touched first, warm skin, shared breath. His nose brushed hers. Lips hovered a whisper apart. She could taste the soju on him, feel the tremor in his fingers. Every instinct screamed to close the gap, to let herself fall completely. But Jamal's face flashed again, laughing, then still in the casket, and terror clawed up her throat. She pulled back, just enough. "I can't." His hand stayed on her face, gentle, not forcing. "Why?" "Because if I kiss you now, I won't be able to stop. And when the truth comes out," her voice cracked, "I'll destroy you, and you'll destroy me." He searched her eyes in the flickering light. "Then destroy me slowly. Let me have this moment first." She wanted to. God, she wanted to. Instead, she pressed her forehead to his one last time, breathing him in, sandalwood, smoke, something achingly human. "I'm terrified," she admitted. "So am I," he whispered back. They stayed like that, foreheads touching, hearts hammering, until the candles burned low and the first emergency lights flickered on outside. The city was waking up, but something between them had shifted forever in the dark. Neither moved away until dawn crept through the windows. Rain hammered Seoul like it wanted to wash the city clean. Aisha had slipped away from the club early, heart racing, thumb drive burning a hole in her pocket. She'd finally gotten what she came for. Audio of Tae-Hyun's lieutenant discussing a laundering drop through the luxury art shipment, names, dates, offshore accounts. Enough to bury the syndicate. Enough to bury him. She ducked into a narrow alley near Itaewon, hood up, checking her encrypted upload. Signal weak. One bar. Come on. Footsteps behind her, too fast, too deliberate. She spun, 3 men, black masks, gloves, knives glinting under streetlights. Rival crew, they'd been watching. "Hand over the drive, consultant, or we take it from your corpse." Aisha backed up, pulse roaring. No weapon, no backup, just her. Then a black SUV screeched around the corner. Doors flew open before it stopped. Tae-Hyun. He moved like shadow given fury. First man down with a single strike to the throat, second slammed against the wall, knife clattering. The third tried to run. Tae-Hyun caught him by the collar, drove a knee into his gut, then dropped him cold. Breathing hard, rain soaking his shirt transparent, he turned to her. "Are you hurt?" She shook her head, voice gone. He grabbed her wrist, gentle but urgent, pulled her into the SUV, slammed the door. Tires spun. They peeled away into the storm. Inside, the only sound was rain on metal and their ragged breathing. He drove fast, jaw clenched, knuckles white on the wheel. At a deserted riverside overlook, he killed the engine. Silence fell heavier than the rain. Aisha stared at the Han River churning black below. "You followed me. I always know where you are. You think I'd let you walk alone after the threats?" She turned to him, eyes blazing. "I had to get out. I had to—" "Get evidence against me?" He finished quietly. Her breath caught. He knew. He didn't look angry, just tired, heartbroken. I found the hidden mic in your office 2 days ago, he said. I could have ended this then. I didn't. Why? Because I wanted to be wrong about you. Turns out I wasn't. Tears mixed with rain on her cheeks. Tae-Hyun, listen to me. This isn't just about the syndicate. It's about my brother, Jamal. They killed him. Same kind of money, same kind of world. He was 19. If he'd lived, he'd be your age now. Laughing, teasing me, alive. Her voice broke. I can't watch another man I love die because of this world. I won't. The word hung between them, love, like a live wire. Tae-Hyun stared at her, rain streaking down the windshield like tears the sky couldn't hold. You love me? He whispered. She nodded, sobbing now. And it terrifies me, because loving you means I have to destroy you to save you. Get out. Leave this life. Come with me, please. He reached across the console, cupped her face with wet hands. Thumbs brushed her cheeks, tender, reverent. I've never wanted anything more. But walking away means my uncle loses everything. Means the people who depend on me get slaughtered by rivals. Means I become the traitor who doomed his own family. She leaned into his touch. Then let me help you find another way. We can expose just enough, protect the innocents, burn the rot. But you have to choose me over the empire. He closed his eyes, forehead dropping to hers. Rain drummed on the roof like gunfire. I already chose, he murmured. The second I pulled you into this car tonight, I chose you. Their lips met then, desperate, rain-soaked, tasting salt and truth. No, almost this time. Full surrender. When they broke apart, gasping, he whispered against her mouth. But if we do this, there's no going back. They'll hunt us both. She kissed him again, fiercer. Then we run together. Outside, thunder rolled. Inside, something unbreakable had just begun. The penthouse felt smaller after the rain-soaked kiss, like the walls had closed in, holding their secret hostage. Aisha had left the thumb drive charging in her guest room laptop while she showered. She needed the hot water to wash away the adrenaline, the guilt, the taste of him still on her lips. When she stepped out in a robe, towel drying her braids, she found Tae-Hyun standing at her desk. He held the open laptop. The screen glowed with her encrypted files, recordings, financial trails, timestamps. Her evidence folder stared back at him like an open wound. Time stopped. His face was stone at first, then cracked. Pain, betrayal, fury, all at once. You recorded me, he said quietly. Every conversation, every moment I let my guard down. Aisha's stomach dropped. Tae-Hyun. Don't. He slammed the laptop shut. The sound echoed like a gunshot. You played me. From the first handshake, the gala, the blackout, that kiss in the car tonight. You were gathering evidence while I was falling in love with you. The word hit her harder than any accusation. Love. He'd said it. She stepped forward, hands raised. I never played you. Not the parts that mattered. Not the confessions. Not the way I feel when you touch me. He laughed, harsh, broken. How am I supposed to believe that? You came here to destroy my family, my uncle, me. Tears burned her eyes. I came to destroy the machine that killed my brother. The laundering, the violence, not you, never you. He turned away, fists clenched at his sides. You should have told me. I tried. Her voice shattered. In the blackout, in the car, I begged you to leave this life because I can't lose you the way I lost him. She crossed the room, grabbed his arm, forced him to face her. Look at me. Jamal was 19, full of dreams. One night he didn't come home. I stood at his grave promising I'd make it right. But if I send this evidence now, it buries you too. And I can't do that. Not anymore. His eyes searched hers, raw, desperate. Then why keep recording? Because I thought it was the only way to save you from yourself. From this empire that's going to kill you eventually. I want you out, with me, free. Silence stretched, thick with everything unsaid. Then he moved, fast, fierce, cupping her face and crashing his mouth to hers. This kiss wasn't gentle. It was desperate, angry, devastating. Teeth clashing, hands gripping like they'd never let go. He backed her against a wall, one hand tangling in her wet braids, the other sliding to her waist, pulling her flush against him. She kissed him back with the same hunger, tears streaming, fingers clutching his shirt like a lifeline. When they broke apart, gasping, foreheads pressed together, he whispered against her lips, I hate you for this. I know, she sobbed. I hate me too. But I love you more. His voice cracked. God help me. I love you more than loyalty. More than the empire. More than my own life. She cupped his jaw, thumb stroking the line of tension there. Then come with me. We expose the rot, not you. We protect the people who don't deserve to die for Chairman Kim's sins. And we disappear. Together. He closed his eyes, a tear slipping free, something she'd never seen from him. If we do this, my uncle will burn the city looking for us. Rivals will smell weakness. We'll be hunted forever. Then let them hunt. She kissed him softly this time, slow, reverent. As long as it's us against the world. He pulled her closer, burying his face in her neck. I'm in, he murmured. No more masks, no more lies between us. She held him tight, heart pounding against his. For the first time, the truth didn't feel like a weapon. It felt like salvation. But outside, Seoul's lights kept burning, watching, waiting for the moment everything would explode. The summons came at dawn. A single text from Chairman Kim's private line. My office. Now. Bring the consultant. Tae-Hyun stared at the screen until it went dark. Aisha watched from the fur bed, sheets tangled around her legs, eyes wide with the same dread pooling in his gut. It's a loyalty test, he said flatly. He suspects something. He always tests when he smells weakness. She rose, pulling on yesterday's clothes. Then we go together, we face it. He caught her wrist. No, you stay here. I'll handle. I'm not hiding anymore. Her voice was steel wrapped in fear. We're in this together, remember? He searched her face, then nodded once, reluctant, terrified. The chairman's office overlooked the Han River like a throne room. Chairman Kim sat behind a massive ebony desk, fingers steepled, expression unreadable. Two enforcers flanked the door. Uncle Park stood in the corner, silent, watchful, eyes flicking between Tae-Hyun and Aisha like he already knew the ending. Lieutenant Kang, the chairman began, voice calm as still water. You've grown distracted. Attachments make us vulnerable. Prove your loyalty. One task. He slid a slim folder across the desk. Inside, a single photo of Aisha walking alone in Itaewon, timestamped last night. Below it, an order typed in crisp Hangul. Eliminate the threat. Tonight. Clean. No traces. Aisha's breath hitched. Tae-Hyun felt the room tilt. The chairman leaned forward. Or I will assume the distraction has compromised you, and we both know what happens to compromised men. Tae-Hyun's hand found Aisha's, squeezed once, hard. No. The word landed like a grenade. Chairman Kim's eyes narrowed. Excuse me? I said no. Tae-Hyun stepped in front of Aisha. She's not a threat. She's the only honest thing in this empire. And if you want her dead, you'll have to go through me. Silence. Thick. Deadly. The chairman laughed, cold, mirthless. You would throw away everything for her? I already have. Chairman Kim rose slowly. Then you are no longer my lieutenant. You are a traitor. He nodded to the enforcers. They moved. Tae-Hyun shoved Aisha behind him, drawing the concealed knife from his sleeve. Chaos erupted, fists, grunts, the metallic clang of steel. He took a hit to the ribs, another to the jaw, but he fought like a man with nothing left to lose. Aisha grabbed a heavy crystal decanter from the side table, swung it at one enforcer's head. Glass shattered. The man dropped. Uncle Park didn't move, just watched. Tae-Hyun disarmed the last guard, breathing ragged, blood trickling from his lip. He turned to the chairman. Let us walk out of here, he said, or end it now. Chairman Kim stared at him, long, assessing. Then he pressed a button under the desk. Alarms blared. Citywide lockdown protocol activated. Every bridge, tunnel, port, airport monitored. Every syndicate asset alerted. Traitors hunted. You think you can run? Seoul is mine. You'll be dead by sunrise. Tae-Hyun pulled Aisha toward the door. We'll see. They ran, down service stairs, through back corridors, out into the pouring rain. In a shadowed underpass near the river, they stopped, gasping. Aisha clutched his shirt, eyes wild. He'll kill us. He'll kill everyone who helps us. Tae-Hyun cupped her face. Then we don't stop moving. But the fear hit her hardest then. She saw Jamal again, clear, vivid. Standing in the rain just like this, blood pooling under him, eyes wide with shock. Sis, it hurts. The image overlapped with Tae-Hyun's face. Same age, same rain, same world that devoured good men. She broke. Sobs tore from her chest. I can't watch you die like him. I can't lose you too. Not you. Tae-Hyun pulled her into his arms, holding her tight against the storm. You won't. I promise. We get out. We live. She clung to him, trembling. How? The city's locked. They're everywhere. He kissed her forehead, voice fierce. We find a way. Because I'm not losing you either. Behind them, sirens wailed in the distance, closing in. The Empire had declared war. And their only weapons left were love and desperation. The city had become a cage. Sirens wailed in every direction. Checkpoints at every bridge. Drones hummed overhead. Chairman Kim's lockdown was absolute. Airports shut, ports sealed, roads blocked by loyal crews. Aisha and Tae-Hyun moved like ghosts through back alleys and abandoned subway tunnels, hoods up, breath shallow. They had one lead, A smuggler's boat waiting at a derelict pier in Incheon, paid for with Tae-Hyun's last untraceable cash. If they reached it by dawn, they could vanish across the Yellow Sea. But dawn was still hours away. They crouched behind a rusted shipping container near the docks, rain pounding the metal roof. Aisha's teeth chattered. Tae-Hyun pulled her against his chest, wrapping his jacket around them both. "We're close," he whispered. "Just a few more blocks." She nodded.
But her eyes were haunted. I keep seeing him, Jamal, standing right here in the rain, bleeding out, telling me it's too late. Tae-Hyun cupped her face. "It's not too late for us. We're getting out." Footsteps echoed, slow, deliberate. They froze. A figure emerged from the shadows. Senior Lieutenant Park Ji-hoon, Uncle Park. Rain dripping from his coat, pistol already in hand. The same gun that had taught Tae-Hyun how to shoot, how to survive. Tae-Hyun stepped in front of Aisha. "Uncle, don't!" Park stopped 10 feet away. His face was carved from stone, but his eyes, red-rimmed, exhausted, betrayed him. "The chairman gave the order," Park said quietly. "Bring you back, or end it here." Aisha's hand found Tae-Hyun's, squeezing hard. Park raised the gun, barrel steady. Then his arm trembled. "I lost 3 boys to this life," he said, voice cracking for the first time in decades. "My eldest in a shootout. Middle one disappeared, never found the body. Youngest, they executed him for showing mercy. Just like you did tonight." He looked at Tae-Hyun. Really looked. "You're the closest thing I had left to a son. I can't watch you bleed out the same way. Not for loyalty. Not for an empire that eats its own." The gun lowered, slowly, deliberately. Tae-Hyun exhaled, stunned. "Uncle." Park stepped closer, pressing a small encrypted key into Tae-Hyun's palm. "This overrides the harbor security cams for 30 minutes. Take the pier. Go now." Aisha's tears mixed with rain. "They'll kill you for this." Park gave a small, sad smile. "I've been dead inside since my boys left. Let me do one good thing before the end." He turned away, shoulders squared. "Run." They didn't hesitate. They sprinted through the rain, boots splashing, hearts pounding. The pier appeared, old wooden planks, a small fishing boat bobbing in the dark water. The smuggler waited, engine idling low. They climbed aboard. The boat pulled away just as distant headlights swept the docks. Aisha clung to Tae-Hyun at the stern, watching Seoul shrink into lights and shadows. In the distance, a single gunshot cracked, sharp, final. Aisha buried her face in his chest. Tae-Hyun held her tighter, jaw clenched, tears silent on his cheeks. Uncle Park had given them everything. The boat cut through the waves toward open sea. Hours later, as gray dawn broke, Tae-Hyun's burner phone buzzed once. A single message from an anonymous line. "Evidence delivered. Syndicate exposed. International warrants issued. Chairman in custody. You're ghosts now. Live." Aisha looked up at him, eyes shining. "We did it." He kissed her, slow, deep, tasting salt and freedom. "No more running," he murmured against her lips. "Just us." She smiled through tears. Just us. The horizon opened wide, endless, forgiving. They sailed into it together. Free. The end.